Hello there, Mark Stevens with the Michigan State University's Project Fish program out of the Department of Fisheries and Wildlife again. We're going to do a project here that we're working with the Saginaw 4-H kids. We put a kit together for them to make ice fishing jig rods. And they're very simple and easy to make. You can do it at home. I'm going to show you how to do it right now. The things that we need is a dowel about 7 or 8 inches long. That's 3/4 inch. And what I've done is I've drilled a little hole in the end of it with a 7/8 inch drill bit. All right, just like that. Just in the interest of time, I did that already for you. The other thing we're going to use is a 7/16 inch. It says right there, 7/16 inch poplar dowel. Poplar because, you know, it's poplar. It's the most popular tree. All right, so and then the end of that, there's a little pilot hole that I drilled. You kind of really don't need to do a pilot hole, but you know, for the interest of time and little ease for the kids, we're gonna have a little screw eye. All right. We also have a safety pin. Let me show you what I'm going to do with that. I have some side cutters. All right, just like this. I'm going to cut the head right off of that safety pin. All right, I got some trash under here. All right, I'll just toss that in there. And then what I'm going to do, just going to bend this eye just a little bit up. Just like that. All right, just like that. And then we'll show you how we're going to use that in a little bit. We've got a couple of L brackets. There's one right there. You can get these. You can also use little cup hooks too, the little circular ones. We've got that. We've got some line like that. I just wrapped it onto a pool. What do they call these things? A noodle that you can float on. And then I just wrapped the line around that to send out that kit. Then we also have a jig head. All right. And you can actually paint these with nail polish. Or the kids could, you know, heat them up a little bit and then put them into some powder paint that you can get at your local bait shop. I got a couple of floats, bobbers, and then we've got a toothpick in your kit. And that is because, you know, the hole is kind of just, you know, it can get a little sloppy, so the toothpick can stick in there and it's a little harder. And then, you know, it makes it a little stiffer and tighter in there. Then we also have a couple of zip ties. Yep. So that's basically it. So let's get at it. Oh yeah, we also have a bottle of wood glue. All right. So let's get at it. Right there. Take that. Open up your wood glue. Take the end of the dowel that doesn't have the hole in it. Take the end of the dowel and just dip it in that wood glue. Just like that, spin it around a little bit. All right, and then stuff that right down inside that hole. You can kind of twist it a little bit. It'll get that glue all over it. All right, just like that, nice and tight. And then just for kicks, just to show you, I'm going to take a little bit of that glue, it cleans it up a little bit. And I'm going to stuff that down inside, tighten that up right there, and then break that off. Just like that. And I'll flip it over and do the same thing on the other side. So I'll stuff it right down inside that hole, that little sloppiness. Now yours may not need that. Yours might be nice and tight where you don't need that, but all right. So fairly simple, easy, first step pretty well. All right, second thing we're going to do, we're going to take our L brackets, just like these L, and just start screwing them into those. I've already drilled a pilot hole for the ones that we sent out as a kit, but if you're going to do this at home, it's pretty easy to kind of start that and just kind of twist it in. It's really easy to do that. Just like that. There's one of them. We'll take the other one and turn that one in there as well. Just have them facing the opposite way because you're going to wrap your line around those. And you can get them in there pretty deep if you want, or just do it until you don't want to do it anymore. All right, just so it's there to hold the line in place. All right, and then right at the tip, we're going to take that screw eye that we have, little screw eye, and just, this is the easy one because you can just turn your stick. See that? Turn that dowel, and then that will go right in there, right into the center. And you kind of want to find out where your line is, and you want it to be flat with your line. So there's the line. You want that to be flat. Okay, so the hole faces down. Okay, just like that. All right, and then in the middle is here, we're going to use this bent eye. Okay, and we're going to put on one of these zip ties, but don't tighten it really tight yet. We'll do that in a little bit. Just like that, just kind of zip it just so that it's there. You can hold it and then put your eye, that little pin that we have, right there in this area. And you don't need this. If you don't want to put it on there, you can not put it on there. Just kind of put it about middle. See that? I got about mid-range there. And just tighten that down. All right, and then turn it. Put the heavy part. See this heavy part of the zip tie? You want that on the bottom so that doesn't interfere with your line going through the eye. And then we'll put a second one on there just for kicks. And if you want to glue that on, you could glue it on as well. Just put that on there real quick. There we go, just like that. Okay, so now you've got a little eye there as well. All right, all the mechanical stuff is done. Just like that. Okay, and now all you have to do is untape your line. Okay, you can tie a little loop in the end of it if you want. Just do an end loop knot. I think I got a little video on an end loop knot. But all you have to do is just tie a little bit of a loop. This line is very hard to tie a loop because it's so fine. I think we're using 4-pound test. So we got a little loop tied on there. You can't even see it. It's so fine. Then I'll just put it right over the end. Right? Just like that. And then we'll just... Oh, trying to show you and hold it at the same time is kind of a trick. It's like that. And then you just start wrapping it. All right, we're going to wrap it. There's probably about 30 feet of line on this thing. I'm guessing about that. Just keep wrapping it. Not that kind of wrapping. But anyway. Something to do while I'm wrapping this up. All right, so like you're ice fishing, so you're standing right above the hole, and you're not going to be fishing 30, 40 feet deep in most of the lakes that we have here in Michigan. So there's our end. All right, so I'm going to leave a little bit of line out like that. I'm going to take the end, go through the eye. Okay, just like that we did. Just through that eye. And then through the eyelet at the end. Just like that. Also in the kit, I think we have a couple of, I think I did this for all the folk. We can take a couple of split shots. Let me take a little bit more of that line off. There we go. And we're just going to pinch on a couple of split shots. Here's a split shot right here. And what it looks like is a little Pac-Man thing. And we're just going to pinch that onto the line, just like that. See that? It's got like a little Pac-Man mouth, and you pinch it down, and that will keep your line nice and tight. Okay. And then we'll go ahead and tie the jig onto that. And we're going to use an improved clinch knot, or a clinch knot. Even with this small line, you can just use a clinch knot too. Alright. Remember that when you go around about 5 or 6 times, you can twist your bait as well. These little ones are kind of hard, and this line is very fine. So then you just take this line and put it through the eye. I mean through the loop that's next to the eye, and then go ahead and pull it tight. Alright, just like that. And that's your improved clinch knot. I've got a video on that if you didn't see that really well. And that's what that is. So you just tip this with a little spike or a mousey. You know, sometimes people will use scuds. Let me clip this off a little bit. I'll use my nail clippers here. And just clip off the tag end. Right there you see that tag. We'll just clip that off. And now we've got a little jigging rod. And then the last thing we would do is we'd put probably a little float on it. Okay? So once you figure out how deep you want to fish, you're going to put your bobber or your float on your line. Now these floats are just a little red and white bobber, and when you push on it, you see how that opens up. So you can clip that right to your line, and then there's your bobber right on the line. And then once you've drilled your hole, you just find the depth, put that bobber at just probably a foot off the bottom, and then you can jig and then wait for that bobber to go. But there you go. There's your little rod, and then you can actually hook that up, and you're ready to rock and roll. So have a great time doing this. It's lots of fun. Check out some other videos. I'm going to show you a couple of other tips later on, but check it out and have fun fishing.